Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Gargi Raut. And joining me today for this show is Shomik Chakrabarti. And today we're starting off the show by talking about the India versus Australia series in 2001. It's been 25 years since that historic series, a 171 run win for Team India. And we have someone special talking about it. Shomik Chakrabarti here had covered the entire series there. And of course, we have Sourav Ganguly speaking about his experience. So we're going to have a look at that clip, and Shomik can give us some of his anecdotes from that series.
Years it made you. How do you kind of think about
It's a
that?
long time, isn't it?
Yeah, it
25
is
years.
25 years, but this very day,
Yeah.
15th it ended. We are playing this interview. Tell me, how do you look back? 3 days, you're done in West Wankhede.
Yeah.
You come to Calcutta, Steve Waugh's team, best ever in the world.
It's a freak test match, I think. And I always said that. I said that even after that, I don't know whether we can repeat that again. I don't think anybody can repeat that again, and especially that Australian side. So, as I said, it's destiny. It's God's will, and I look at it that way because we were down and out in the test. Australia got almost 400, I think,
445,
440, and we were 190 all out.
171.
171 all out. And from there to get to 600 in the second innings and then come and win a test match is a fairy tale. So I don't have a recipe for that. I don't have a line to say how I did it because I did not do it. It just happened, and it will be one of probably the greatest test match I've ever been part of. I've been part of some fascinating test matches. I think Adelaide in 2003,
Yeah.
2003 in Adelaide when Australia got 400 on day one of the test match batting first. Not many teams will give the team, whether it's India or England or South Africa, the team batting second to win a test match, and we went on to win on the fifth day in Adelaide. So there were some remarkable victories, even when we went to Headingley to win.
Yeah.
Chasing Sri Lanka that time, and that Sri Lanka. But this is probably right on top of the list, and considering many factors, Boria. One is how good the Australians were. We fall into the trap of talking wins in different eras. That this win is probably the best. You cannot compare that way, because eras are different, players are different, teams are different, mindsets were different. He grew up in an era where you were recognized playing test cricket, and this has become a T20 era. Although I still feel countries like India, England, South Africa, Australia still value players on what they do in test matches. But that was an era where you had to make a mark in test cricket to be considered as an international player. So from that point of view, as I said to you, it was a freak. I don't think any of the team members believed that we could finish on a winning side on day 5 till tea at day 5. So, a remarkable win. As I said, God's will to turn Indian cricket around. And to be honest, Indian cricket turned around after that win.
We have a very wonderful comment here. The cricket crazy Bong is saying 25 years of the historic Eden Gardens test match between India and Australia. I was having my class 7 annual exam then. The teachers were listening to radio commentary. So, it tells you just how much wins like these matter to the nation. But Shomik, like you said, you covered this series. What is the number
The first
one?
two matches. The
First two
first two
matches.
matches, Bombay and Calcutta.
What is the number one memory that comes to your mind when you think of this?
No, I will not take this test match in isolation because Gargi, the backdrop is important. Australia came here, the all-conquering Steve Waugh's team came here on the heels of winning 15 test matches on the bounce. Can you imagine? 15 test matches on the bounce they won, and they came to India for the test series. And in Bombay, the first test, Saurabh was going through a patchy period before the series. Before this series, India went to Sri Lanka. India won the first test and lost the final one, and returned with 1-1. And after the loss, one former board president, one former BCCI president, I don't want to name him, he went to the dressing room and told Rahul Dravid, Rahul, get ready. bigger job becomes. Rahul Dravid was the vice captain. That happened in Sri Lanka. And Sora was about to lose his captaincy. And then the BCCI election happened. Dr. Muthaya lost. Mr. Dalmia pulled off a coup in Madras, and Mr. Dalmia became the BCCI president. That gave Sourav Ganguly some breathing space as far as the captaincy is concerned. But he couldn't afford to lose this series because he was not scoring runs. Runs had dried up as far as batting is concerned, and he couldn't afford to lose this series badly. Otherwise, maybe even Mr. Dalmia couldn't have saved him, and he would have lost his captaincy. Before the series, he lost Anil Kumble, his number one bowler. He lost Anil Kumble. And the team selection meeting, I go to the team selection meeting, and the selectors gave him a 15 that he had Sharandeep Singh as the off spinner. On the boardroom, during the meeting, Saurabh put out a pen, struck out Sharandeep Singh's name and wrote Harbhajan Singh. Harbhajan Singh was not even in the same. He was not even in the radar. And Sharandeep Singh he was playing test match. Saurabh said, no, Harbhajan Singh will play. This is my team. I go out there. Whatever happens, I have to take the responsibility. I believe Harbhajan Singh will play, not Sharandeep Singh. And he had Mr. Dalmia's support also, and the selectors were not happy, but they had to eat the humble pie. But they are not happy. Some of the selectors even were waiting for Saurabh to fail. Against this backdrop, the Bombay test happened. A day before the test match, the curator was doing something on the pitch, and Saurabh was not happy. He had a sort of argument, I would put it to that, with the Wankhede curator. And this Steve Waugh came here with this philosophy of mental disintegration, which is about giving lip, which is about going after the players with verbals, and it was officially called mental disintegration. And Shane once said, we will give them some chin music. And Bombay, Adam Gilchrist played a fantastic innings. Michael Slater and Rahul Dravid. Australia thought Rahul Dravid was out. Rahul Dravid, and the umpire gave him not out, and Rahul Dravid believed that he was not out. Michael Slater came, and Michael Slater was almost having a fight with Rahul out there in the middle. That was done. India lost the test, 16-0 Australia. During those days in Eden Gardens, the two dressing rooms, there was no designated media manager. Mr. Chetan Chauhan, Chetan Paji, former India opener, he was the team manager. He doubled up as the media manager. He used to organize the press conference. A day before the match, there used to be a lobby. You didn't see the old Eden Gardens. There used to be a lobby between the two dressing rooms. A temporary table, a temporary chair. Saurabh sat next to him, Mr. Chetan Chauhan. And I remember him asking, which Saurabh didn't like, that Saurabh, are you pulling your weight as a batsman? And obviously coming from someone from his city, obviously, and I think I also overreacted a bit. And coming from someone from his city, Saurabh didn't like it. And then first innings, meltdown. Second innings, after following on, and I tell our viewers, the decision to promote VVS Lakshman up the order was taken not by Sourav Ganguly, but by John Wright. At the time, a lot of us reported that it was Saurabh's call. But when we clarified, we came to know it was John Wright's, and we made the correction, and we said, no, it was John Wright's. The decision to promote VVS Lakshman. Shiv Sundar Das got out hit wicket. Shiv Sundar Das got out hit wicket. You can understand. I mean, you can understand the level of humiliation and everything. And then VVS was the unbeaten batsman. I think he was the only batsman to score a half century in the first innings. And he was pretty fresh. And the way he was timing the ball, John Wright said he will bat at number 3. And Rahul Dravid was moved down the order. Rahul Dravid was copying a lot of fact. You cannot imagine the amount of fact Rahul Dravid was copying in the media. And then that partnership happened. And after Rahul get to his 100, that was, I think, probably for the first and the last time he made a gesture towards the press box. He made a gesture towards the press box. That test match was the making of new India. That test match liberated India. That test match was the making of new India. India's greatest, I mean, I cannot say the greatest ever, because India in the 1975 chased down 400 plus in West Indies at Port of Spain to win a test match. Chasing down 400 plus in a test match in the West Indies in the fourth innings, no mean feat. But 1971, those twin under Ajit Wadekar, the series win at in the West Indies and England. But all said and done, those were before our time. But what we have seen, and given the backdrop, everything, controversies, everything, I don't think, I mean, I have seen a better test match in my 30 year of reporting career. And that was the making of modern India. That was the making of new India.
Yeah, I think there's somewhere in that interview where Saurav Ganguly does say that he thought he would lose his job when things went.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, he was teetering. I think, and Asian Age, we give that headline also, teetering and Lakshman Rekha.
That's a good headline. But now let's talk about the T20 World Cup a little bit. And it's been 4 days now since we saw that win. And Shomik, when you look back on this entire T20 World Cup campaign, of course, there were some brilliant performances by the bat, but at the end of the day, it is a tournament that once again Jasprit Bumrah has won you. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jasprit Bumrah was the man of the tournament. I no disrespect to Sanju Samson. He showed character, he showed resilience, and his batting has always been very aesthetically pleasing, Gargi. And absolutely the way he came back. And the mistake in the first few matches the India were making, that their top order became a little too predictable, and the off spinners were having rival off spinners were having a field day. So it was one dimensional. To counter that threat, the team did the course correction and brought in Sanju Samson, and that way the off spin threat in the power play was neutralized. Excellent, and Sanju Samson stood up to deliver. But without Jasprit Bumrah, look at this thing. Against the West Indies, the margin. Against England, specifically the semi-final, without that over against of Bumrah when he was brought back to bowl his final over, and those six consecutive Yorkers, I think just the once he missed his length, and Sam Curran was so overawed he couldn't put it away. So that is what Jasprit Bumrah's aura does. But without Jasprit Bumrah, and 4 for 15 in a World Cup final, which is played in a T20 format, Jasprit Bumrah. Sometimes I wonder how come a genius like him. Because if you look at India's socio-economic culture, everything, you don't relate Jasprit Bumrah, a genius like Jasprit Bumrah, bowling genius. I'm not talking about batting genius. I mean, India have produced so many great batsmen. Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar. So, I mean, I'm talking about the elite of the elite. Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar, and Rahul Dravid. Because I'm not going to, but going before my time, not talking about the Vijay Marchants or the Vijay Hazare. Uh, During our time, Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid. That is if you have the Mount Rushmore, you will have these three. You will have these three. I don't know who will be the fourth. It could be Gundappa Vishwanath or VVS Lakshman or Virat Kohli. But these three will be there if you have the Mount Rushmore of Indian batting. So, but batting greats, batting geniuses India have produced. But a bowling genius like Bumrah, from you look at India's background, in terms of producing fast bowlers, only Kapil Dev. And Kapil Dev also gradually became a medium pacer. No disrespect, India's greatest ever all-rounder by a million miles, but uh, Jasprit Bumrah purely as a fast bowler. Jasprit Bumrah, Indian cricket produce a genius like him? Sometimes I struggle to understand. But I have said this off camera. I am saying this now on camera. If there has to be something, I mean, every ground should have a Bumrah statue. Every ground, basically. And at the COE, the fast bowling, you develop a fast bowling course or something, and you name it after Jasprit Bumrah.
You have to do those things. I think now going ahead, if there are any series to be named, Jasprit Bumrah deserves one series to be named after him. I think
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that should be considered.
But series you can name only after he hangs up his boots, not
Retire.
before that. But
Haha.
now, build a statue, build statues of Jasprit Bumrah, because it is not only the T20 format, Gargi. Be it T20 format, be it the World Cup. India lost the 2023 World Cup because Jasprit Bumrah had an off day.
Yeah.
If you are at his peak, India would have won that also. And be it Test cricket, I mean, unbelievable, unbelievable. He is the kudos to John Wright. He mined a diamond who eventually became the Kohinoor of Indian cricket.
Absolutely. And this is what Sourav Ganguly has to say about Jasprit Bumrah. Have a listen.
That match at the Wankhede covered that. England was going at again 12-13. 3 overs, 45. Everybody thought, come on, there's a game on. This man comes and bowls 6 straight Yorkers and concedes 6.
Yeah, but he's a great bowler. He's a freak and the best in the business. But having said that, England should have done better. Let's be honest, he's a good wicket, two set batsmen, and I firmly believe only two teams can compete with India in one-day cricket at the moment, or T20 cricket at the moment. It's Australia and England. Others are far, far behind India.
South Africa, good side.
Maybe in their conditions, but not in this condition because they don't have spin. Australia, England will compete in all conditions with India.
Scoring 250 almost regularly, this team is.
And opposition captains put them in.
You thought it was a mistake? I mean,
When New Zealand put them in Ahmedabad, I said game was over. You think Ishan Kishan, Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Shivam Dubey, Tilak Verma, Hardik Pandya, Surya Kumar Yadav will be stopped by Rachin Ravindran, Mitchell Santner, Glenn Phillips, that other fast bowler folks,
Jacob
Duffy. No way. So the match started at 7 o'clock. India won the World Cup by 7:30. So game was over.
This is something that we all were discussing as well, as to why New Zealand chose to bowl first after winning the
Brain
toss.
fade. It was brain fade. It was a brain fade moment. Nothing else can describe that. Dropping McConchy and this winning the toss and bowling first in a final. Actually, Gargi, the problem is with the captains like Santner, even a bit of Harry Brook also. They are so data driven. And this is the downside of being a data driven captain or a coach, because New Zealand won all their matches at the World Cup chasing. Now they banked on that data to opt to bowl first in a final against India in Ahmedabad. So that is common sense took a backseat. Data came to the forefront, and data don't win you matches. Simple as that. But just one more thing about Jasprit Bumrah, Gargi, that this World Cup saw Bumrah giving us something new as far as slower ball is concerned. And it could be research going ahead, maybe, I don't know. It might be a subject for research in the laboratory also. That until the 11th hour, a delivery that is promises to be a seam up or coming at normal pace is at the very last moment become a slower delivery. This is something he developed, this is something he unleashed, and this is something a new variety that he showed us during this World Cup. So to start with, I think the slower ball of that variety from now on could be named after Bumrah. That if someone does it, that he did a Bumrah.
That's a good one. But oh, almost.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, this is how the New Zealand batting crumbled. Uh,
Yeah, but and there was actually I made a close shave. I managed to I managed to pull things off. New Zealand had none to do that.
no hope whatsoever for them.
No hope whatsoever. Yes.
Okay, I'm taking some comments here before we take the final comment by Sourav Ganguly. True Wicket is saying Kolkata 2001 was the greatest test played by India apart from Dravid, VVS, and Harbhajan. Sachin's bowling on day 5 was key. Um, would you rate this higher than maybe a GABA or or even Oval? What are your thoughts?
Yes, basically, absolutely. Because the fact of the matter is that GABA was great. Yes, GABA was great. But before that, I mean, 2 years before India won a Test series in Australia, the Oval also, England lost it rather than India winning it. England threw it away. Harry Brook and Jacob Bethel. India didn't win it basically. England lost it. That was schoolboy like batting after getting into a winning position. That handed, that served the game or that handed over India the game on a platter. So that was England's loss rather than India's win. But it was Indian cricket, and you have to be in that moment to understand the kind of crisis Indian cricket had been going through. The Cronia Gate was still fresh. The Cronia Gate that was still fresh. The very foundation of the game was shaken, and then India were losing, and India just hired a foreign coach for the first time. India were losing, and it was about the self-respect. It was about protecting your identity as a cricket nation, and that win gave India the belief it will always supersede the GABA or the Oval.
100%. I wasn't there. I mean, I didn't watch it while it was happening, but now all of this is inspiring me to go and watch the entire highlights of that match. Sporting Destination is saying, I hope Shomik is protecting himself with the Mumbai Heat. It's unbearable, and kudos to the whole Rev Sports team for coverage. Looking forward to Conclave event now. We're also looking forward to the conclave. Only a couple of days more before the madness starts. And of course, we have Gautam Gambhir who's going to come and start things off for us at the Trailblazers conclave. But
And Gargi, talking about the Bombay Heat, I mean, yesterday I landed Calcutta, but it's still early March. It's still not mid March yet. And 2 days back, IMD issued a yellow alert for heat wave in Bombay. So you can understand, daytime temperature is touching 38, 39. I don't know
yeah,
what will happen in April or May, but let's see.
yeah, it's crazy. As the years go by, it's getting hotter and hotter every single year.
Yeah, the
And
weather pattern has completely
yeah,
changed. And coming to Calcutta is such a relief weather-wise. Here it is cloudy. It is the heat is the temperature is hovering around 27, 28 degrees. It is still I mean the until mid-March, until the third week of March, Calcutta is still bearable.
yeah. Okay, so talking about Gautam Gambhir, like I said, he's going to start things off for us at the Trailblazers Conclave on the 14th of March. Here's Sourav Ganguly on Gautam Gambhir and his T20 World Cup campaign.
Gautam Gambhir is there at the conclave. A thought on Gautam
Yeah,
Gambhir as
remarkable.
white ball coach. He's
If
there
you,
at
if you remember my first interview with you before they were going to Australia, and they were saying Gambhir this, Gambhir that, I said, give that fellow a chance. It was on your.
yes, and it went viral.
And if you can, when he's here, you show it to him. I don't know, give him a chance. Win a T20 World Cup, win a Champions Trophy. Oh, he's a tremendous T20 coach. He's got to get better in Test matches, and most importantly, play on good wickets. If he plays on good wickets, he'll be a good Test match coach as well. He plays too much on turning pitches in India. Look what he did in England on good pitches where he didn't have control. So as a coach, he should take the wicket out of his system and just go and play because he's very good.
I think as a white ball coach with KKR and India, I think as a white ball, he's mastered this format.
In these conditions. So I'm looking forward to the 2027 World Cup. He has to find a way to get better there because his batting is breathtaking in these conditions. But when it seams, when it bounces, that's where he's got to get his boys better. So I'm sure he'll do it. He's a competitor. He may be rude rough, but he's a competitor. He does not need to be rude rough because he's a good man. I've played with him for India. But he's a competitor. He wants to win. He speaks the right things about his team. Tries to create an environment of team, not individuals. So he's good, but I think his biggest test will be when he starts going away, and that's something which he has to master. And I'm sure he will. The player he has, and if Bumrah remains fit,
and you'll have Virat and
he'll do well. Yeah, India can make another team. The T20 team which played in the World Cup. Then you have Virat, you have Rohit, you have Rahul, you have Pant, you have Yashasvi. Who doesn't get a game?
Even that Suryavanshi chap is outside.
Suryavanshi would play in any team in the world. Suryavanshi, then you have Mohammad Shami, who doesn't. Shreyas Iyer doesn't get a T20 game. I'm absolutely flabbergasted that he doesn't get a spot in the white ball cricket. Shreyas
Iyer. He's a great in any other team.
Yeah. Then you got Harshit Rana, you've got Prashid Krishna, you've got some more spinners sitting out. Kuldeep doesn't get a game. So India can have another T20 side and still be international teams.
Final comments before we close the show. I think those were some interesting comments there. One is obviously taking the wicket out of the system for Gautam Gambhir when he's playing at home. And then, of course, 2027. And we have been talking about this throughout the World Cup as well, that the real test is 2027 when India plays the World Cup in South Africa, because then completely different conditions.
Gargi, see, in my 3-decade-long cricket career, I haven't seen anyone better than Sourav Ganguly in terms of reading the game, in terms of judging a player's potential. Absolutely, I haven't seen anyone better than Sourav. Absolutely, in terms of reading the game. So Gautam Gambhir will do well to follow his advice or follow his suggestions as far as Test cricket is concerned. Because Sourav Ganguly, the way he understands the game, the way he reads the game, it is unparalleled. It is absolutely unparalleled. So, from that point of view, I gave you the example at the start of our show that bringing on Harbhajan Singh when he was doing nothing basically, and at the expense of Sharandeep Singh, and going ahead, bringing on Virender Sehwag, Yuvraj Singh, a lot, Mohammad Kaif, Zahir Khan, Ashish Nehra. It's an endless list, and the way Saurav as captain mentored or shaped their career, and the way his understanding of the game, his reading of the game. So when he's advising Gautam Gambhir to take pitch out of the equation, that is a good advice, and in home conditions, and Gautam Gambhir would do well to follow it.
On that note, we'll take your leave. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. This was a good mix of, old and the new, with Sourav Ganguly bridging the gap between the T20 World Cup and the 2001 India-Australia Test Series. But thank you so much, Shomik, for joining, and to everyone who's watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back very soon. Thank you.